Ich lasse los, ich lasse gehen, ich lasse einfach nur geschehen. Ich lasse alles hoffen, ziehen, alles wollen und erwarten. Ich glaube nicht an die Kontrolle, dass alles kommt, so wie ich wolle. Alles kommt und es ist gut, alles ist schon längst, es braucht nur Mut, das Ruder loszulassen, sich auf das Fließen einzulassen, den Fluss des Lebens ins Leben frei zu lassen. Nicht am Ufer Dämme bauen, Einfluss nehmen, Teiche stauen und dann auch bloß und drüben tümpeln, sinn- und zwecklos rumzudümpeln. Stattdessen treibe ich lebensmutig in das Schicksals Fluten hin, schwerelos und sorgenfrei staun ich, dass ich ein begabter Schwimmer bin, dass ich ein begabter Schwimmer bin. Denn alles kommt und es ist gut, alles ist schon längst, es braucht nur Mut, das Ruder loszulassen, sich auf das Fließen einzulassen, den Fluss des Lebens ins Leben frei zu lassen. Ich liege offen, atme weit, für alle Fügungen bereit, wo mich das Leben nun hinträgt. Ich bin getragen und dies Bewusstsein prägt mich mehr als alles Denken, Suchen, Fragen. War ich einst, was wird aus mir? Es ist egal, ich bin ja jetzt und hier.
Hello beautiful world out there. We're here today in the late summer with Lucia. Lucia was in Egypt when she was filming this video, in an oasis, right?
It's a special place of water within a desert space, south of Cairo in Fayum Desert.
And we were filming our part of the video in the north of Spain, together with Fede, who is right now behind the camera, who's always there, always with us. And it's really interesting how coincidental this song was made and also this video was made. So on our concerts we usually put out guest books. In the end of August I found a poem in here from a woman called Janine Lückert, who now is a dear friend. And she told me back then that she has never published any poetry before in her life. And it really moved me. And I just felt the urgency to do something out of it. And then at some point in the winter, a song came out of that by just reciting the poem so many times. And then we published this song on our latest album called Homewards. And then we played a concert in a little place called Wölpinghausen. I didn't know it existed before. And there was this cute theater place. And there was this lovely lady on the merchandise table, like looking at the poetry books and the CDs that we had. And then Fede was asking you who you are and if you were an artist. And then you introduced yourself and your big passion of dancing.
And I may tell that I immediately jumped on stage with them after the break, which was very surprising to me as well, that they even asked me and trusted me. And I had a beautiful experience, and Fede said at that time, Ronja is speechless, and this is very rarely happening. So we had an amazing time in that little theater, which is in my hometown where I was born, and that little theater used to be my kindergarten, which was very special for me.
I didn't know that, really. How crazy. And Lucia then told us that she completely coincidentally went to this concert because you saw a poster in the supermarket. We were always like not really making plans, but always envisioning how it would be to make a video for this. And then you told me, I'm in Egypt right now. And then you sent me this beautiful video material of you dancing.
Yeah, a friend of mine heard that there is this so-called magic lake and we should go. So we went, and then there was this other person having a camera, and she video shooted me dancing, which I really love to do in so many different places. I used to perform on big stages already, and I love to also perform on the street or in the lake, and like wherever I feel myself moving. I love to do this.
It's pretty impressive. When we met Lucia, we just thought, this is some beautiful young woman listening to our concert, but then we actually learned that you are not only a studied dancer, but a studied dance choreographer, who studied in the biggest dance school in Dresden at the Palukka, and you also lived many years in the north, in a theater you were working. That was in which city?
Rostock.
In Rostock. And ever since we met, there's this beautiful friendship that we are like, we're now in Budapest, you know, Lucia, and now we will soon go to Canada. And you tell us, I was just in Paris, and I will soon fly to New York. And we are such a global people, and still we always reconnect, even though we are in so many places. And I find that super precious, what can evolve also artistically, what can be created when you don't narrow it down with a plan or a clear expectation, when you just let things grow. And I think that art does that, all the different languages of art. So I'm deeply fascinated with dance. For me, it's a language that I come from singing, I come from lyrics, and I come from writing and composing, and to see what a human body can express with just non-verbal language, I find it so utterly graceful and beautiful and deep, maybe because we don't use words.
I feel like this is like an emphasizer or multiplicator. It totally makes sense to me as well. I remember the first moment that we performed together, I felt as if I am kind of like an elongation of the soul expression that Ronja is creating through her words, because I can relate to the words so much. I was like, wow, this touches my heart, I feel warm in my heart, and I love to put this also through the body into dance art. And I'm so happy that we didn't plan, and we had some visions, which was, for example, also to potentially have some water in the video. And I was so happy that we've been in the desert, but there was water. And I relate so much to water, because for me this is also a representation of letting go and letting the flow in. And Bruce Lee also said, like, be like water, right? Because then you have the flexibility and the strength to be and to also endure like long phases of potentially challenging times, for example.
Totally. Yeah, we filmed that on the Costa Quebrada in the north of Spain, and that was also just happily coincidental that there was this beautiful evening light and there was this space to try to capture this and to now put it into something bigger, into this video, and I think it's round.